Okay, so first thing I'm gonna say is, y'all know that, and I made a ton of notes, so. First, I'm gonna ask for grace, because today is my mother's birthday.
Oh.
So I am so honored to be here, and I feel like this was already on the calendar, but I think, you know how just things work in mysterious ways, and I feel like it was meant to be that I taught this today. Julie, do not stop it.
Sorry.
We're not doing that. We're not going there.
Yes, she's celebrating you.
You're celebrating me, yeah, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And I wouldn't be standing in front of this room if it wasn't for my mother, hands down. So thank you, Mama. I love you. So a few weeks ago, when y'all were at Jason's class, he had the picture up of this, right? Who can guess when I took this? Just throw something out there.
2020. I don't know why I said that.
I took this in 2023 when I was at KWRI in 2023, and they had this up. So when I went back and he brought that picture back, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've been there. Like, hello, not more than once. And so I brought this back only because I felt like with KW, there's like, Gary is so creative that there's always this like hidden, he's got intuition about what's coming and what we're doing and where we're going. And so our market center word for the year is thrive, which just, we had already talked about that in our business planning that we do as a leadership team at the end of last year before he even showed the picture. So I just feel like all the things have all melded into one. So it's just meant to be. Anyway, just want to share that. We go. Well, Google says confidence is. What does it mean to be confident? Sure of oneself, having no uncertainty about one's own abilities, correctness, successfulness, etc. Do you guys feel like you're confident? You ask, why do I bring this up? I have the privilege of getting a front row seat to all of your business. I can just pull up single reports. I can look at your trends and see what's going well or what isn't. And I think that understanding what you're going through, if you don't understand it, you can't lead through it. And I truly, truly believe that. And so I just want to share a little bit about what that confidence looks like and how you get it. Does everybody here know how to run your multi-year trend reports and where you find that? Okay. Okay, we will do, is Leah still out there? No. Don't forget, because it, it's a squirrel. Will you, on our Facebook group, put something out there with the instructions on how they can run their multi-year trend reports? Perfect. Solve problem solved. See, solving problems. Do you have a question? How many of you know someone that's super confident? Could be yourself. Raise your hand. We have confident people in this room. Raise your hand. Are you born with confidence? How do you get it?
By doing things and.
Yeah, driving, trial and error, yeah.
By doing
I'm
things.
confident in some things and not in others.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's things that I've experienced, yeah,
Mhm.
things that I've done. And
It's like learning to drive. I love the analogy of who in here knows how to use chopsticks? Did we do it right the first time? No, maybe the second? I don't know. I mean, then I had to cheat and use a rubber band where they wadded up the piece of paper and put it in the middle to make the claws, right? And so I think when we look at all the things we have to do personally and professionally, we all start at zero. All of us, we all start at zero. What you do with that is what matters. How are you learning? How are you growing? What are you doing? I get off track, so I got all my reminders here. Do you feel like a person with confidence is the loudest person in the room? Not necessarily. To me, that's more ego, usually. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. Usually it's the quiet, silent, sitting back, being the sponge, because they're learning. Because learning is how you grow. So I think when you're in a room full of people, you can kind of identify what that looks like pretty quickly. And that's where it goes to, it matters who you surround yourself with. And are they building you up and growing and pushing you? Do you guys feel like it's luck? Mm-mm. Do you believe in luck?
Yes.
Carter's like, yeah, you believe in luck.
What's your definition of luck? To me, opportunity is Preparation meets opportunity. That's what luck means.
That's right. That's right. Because it's with intention.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta have intention. Luck doesn't happen without intention. Now, if you sort of miss the cat that ran in front of your car today, the cat got lucky. You know, maybe we got lucky too, so we, have to go pick up the cat, but yeah. What if I could wave a magic wand and give you confidence that you're not confident about right now that would change your life? What's the one thing that you're not doing because you're not confident that would change the trajectory of your life?
Really good question.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's got something, right? I'll share that, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have caught me dead standing up here, and I don't have a fear of public speaking. I have a fear of saying too much because I don't know how to turn it off. Because I am a super high eye. Y'all know that. I talk too much. And when I get nervous, I talk faster. And Chelsea's like, take a deep breath. My words run together because I feel like I have so much I want to share and so much I want to say and articulate to people based on my life experiences. But it never would have been in front of a room. It would have been a one-on-one or a phone call with a best friend or something like that. So I think about what, if I waved a magic wand, what would be the one thing I could give you instant confidence that you would change the direction of your life? Just write that down somewhere, put that on the side somewhere and think about that. Do confident people get paid more, have more opportunities? Matters who they surround themselves with? Mm-hmm. Again, weren't born with confidence. I'm gonna go to Jason's thing. It's by doing the activities over and over. Tell Jason he'll be proud, over and over again. Because competency is where you get confidence. You don't get confidence when you're winning. You got confidence because you learn how to win. And you don't have to think about it anymore, right? When you're confident, do you feel like it's easier to say no and you don't care what people think? Yeah, absolutely. That's when you go back, do you know your standard? Do you know what your value is? Do you know what you're worth? I'm crystal clear. I don't know if George is on here or not. But I had me with George yesterday talking about what are my non-negotiables. I have very clear non-negotiables, professionally and personally. I will not negotiate. If that doesn't work for you, then we are not meant to be in the same circle together. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. I had to make a choice that it was about being respected versus being liked. And to me, there's a big difference. And I think people have to decide, if you have self-doubt, you're always worried about people liking you. If you have confidence because you're competent, then you have respect. And I think that is a huge difference that people, they get in their own way because they're comparing themselves to others. They're always on social media looking at what they have, what they don't have, and what that looks like. None of it matters. It's all about you. You got to respect you, not have self-doubt within yourself. Do you guys feel like you talk about confidence with your family, with your friends? How you build that in your kids, in your clients? Because you want your clients to be educated. You want them to be competent, to make competent decisions, to build their confidence that you have educated them in doing business with you. Is that part of your standards? Is that what you guys do with your clients? Most people are like, never thought about that. I don't really know. Some clients don't want to worry about anything. Some clients want to be involved in everything. I think, even my notes. We talk about here a lot about doing the same activity over and over and over again, getting in love, loving the boredom. Back to the chopstick analogy. It's like swimming. It's like driving. Why is it we were willing to do those things to get from point A to point B, but we're not willing to make the calls consistently every day to feed our family?
Because you're comfortable in those other things.
But you weren't when you first learned how.
Sure.
I mean, I wasn't comfortable driving the first time. I wrecked a car. Actually, it was on the farm, but it's fine. Details. But I mean, if you think about all the things you have to do to be successful, is just doing one or two things over and over and over again. We learn how to drive. We learn how to swim, some of us. There's things that we've mastered, cooking, baking, whatever that looks like. But why are we willing to do the other things that is going to provide for our family and build a legacy for what we're doing? Chelsea.
I think
goes to your why, like knowing why you're doing what you're doing, what your passion is, and like what's
Mhm.
gonna move
What's driving you?
no matter what. Like,
Yep, what's driving you? Yep. How many of you have said, oh, I've lost my confidence at some point? Right? Let's be real. Like, this is safe circle. We've lost our confidence. Why do you think that is? Confidence isn't a thing. You don't lose it. Why do we treat it like it? It's, you just have got a block of something that has caused you self-doubt because you stopped doing something that you were trying to learn that you failed at and hadn't figured out how to pick yourself back up again. How do you just keep going and doing the things that are hard to be successful? Because with that brings competency, with that brings confidence. Personally and professionally. This is about personal stuff and your business, right? How many of you in here felt like imposter syndrome? Did you feel like you were fake? Do you know that imposter syndrome is a blessing? I'm gonna tell you why. If you have ever felt it, that means you were doing something that you were uncomfortable with. That means you were willing to step out and do something to learn and to grow and to expand whatever your circle looks like in business, professionally, or personally. You're like, you know what? I'm not scared. I have the courage to step up and not be fake, but be willing to learn on something that I'm not really sure about yet. I don't know anybody that's had it, and you can't do it and be a liar. You got to do it with integrity. But I think if you think about that, I use an example of somebody was talking about, they got a big promotion or something and they're like, okay, I have no idea what to do. Well, the joke of you fake it till you make it. Well, you don't fake it, you learn, right? You learn to make it. And either you learn it or you don't, right? And that's, you have a choice, right? 50-50. If you don't learn it, guess what? You're not going to keep moving up. If you learn it, the world is endless for you. I want to share a little bit personally about my path here, because I know people can relate. Most of you know it. I literally lived in self-doubt and fear of failure almost my entire life until the last probably 10 years of my life. I was always told that I wasn't good enough. I was never pretty enough. I wasn't smart enough. My best friend was the one that always got the guys that I had the crush on, always kind of behind the scenes. I lived my life living in self-doubt versus learning from it. So in any self-doubt that you all have, don't live in it, learn from it. I wasted a lot of time. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for it. So I don't know that it's all wasted, but I wish I had known this a lot sooner and somebody had taken time to invest in me. And when people want to invest in you, lean in, open your mind, open your heart, and listen to, because there are just endless opportunities and possibilities for people that are different and might, just give you some guidance on where you need to go and what you need to do to be successful. Do you guys feel like you're on the right path? Not a trick question. Some people get up and go, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, is this, really, is this the right path? Do you know why you're getting up every day? Do you know what you're doing every day? Do you have a plan? Do you know who you're doing it for?
Not every day.
Not every day. That's fair. See, that's being honest. Some days you're just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And that's okay. We all have those days.
Yeah.
I think that we think about all the things we have to do. You got to do things you want to do. Because when it doesn't feel like work, that's where you build your competency and that's where you build your confidence.
Or get to do.
I was gonna say that.
Or get to it, that's right? So I love, like, when you Google this, it's like, okay, what does it mean to be confident? And to me, this is like, okay, well, this is like, sure of oneself, be true to yourself. Really, what does that even mean? Be true to yourself? I don't know. To me, confidence is the willingness to try. Period. If you aren't willing to try, you're never going to have confidence. In the willingness to try, the try is where you gain competency to be confident. And to me, it's more of an action than just a feeling. People talk about, feel like I've lost my confidence. No, it's not a thing. You're not losing it. It's not going anywhere. Just keep doing the things that are hard. Do y'all feel like going through competency is like going through fire, right? Right, competence is forged in fire. It's like not a golden ticket that we're given. Who can share or I would like to share, what do you do to forge through fire? When it gets hard, what do you tell yourself?
Countdown, 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1. Or Mel's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5 seconds is too long.
Just like, no.
My bracelet says I can and I will, and I wear this a lot of days.
Yeah. Who else? We all get up every day and have challenges, right?
I'm a vendor in the room, but I usually say everything's working out for my greater good. When I have those moments, I just start literally telling myself over and over.
Yeah, I mean, mine is every day is, how am I serving? And not only is it serving others, but is it serving myself? Selfishly, you know who we have to live with always until we die? Ourselves. You better like yourself. You gotta work with that person every day. You gotta sleep with that person every day. You gotta look at that person every day. I mean, seriously, if you don't like yourself, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I want you guys to understand that building that confidence on how you grow and loving yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love others. And I don't feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, if it has a different opinion, if you don't love yourself, I don't think you can serve others either. And we all have self-doubt in that category. And I just feel like you have to fall in love with doing the things that are gonna push you and scrape your knees and your chin. And you have a group of people that will pick you up and support you and keep pushing you in the right direction. I know, I was talking to Amy this morning about accountability partners. Does anybody have we call it accountability buddy? Who's yours?
Brian Willetts.
Brian.
Willetts?
Oh, Willits, yes. I thought you said Wilson. I was like, who's Brian? I'm Brian Wilson. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because you guys are friends, also newer agents. Yeah. Who else has an accountability buddy? Julie's like,
I do. My best friend since 9th grade, and we are brutally honest with each other, talk
Mhm.
almost every day, and yeah, we can tell each other like it is.
If you guys don't have somebody that's willing to do that for you, that you trust and can take constructive criticism and honesty, you guys are missing out. Because you're always gonna make an excuse for yourself. Oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow. I have more time tomorrow. Oh, I'll start my diet tomorrow. I want to eat the cake today, right? I mean, we've all done that. Hello. Accountability is one of the #1 things that will get you in the most uncomfortable space you've ever been in. But you gotta be open to receive it. Whether it's for here, whether it's coaching, whether it's somebody on the leadership team, whether it's another agent in the office. You've got to find the person that's gonna push you into the deep without a paddle, but it's not gonna let you drown. And I think that's just super important, no matter where you are in your business. I just think that's so important, no matter where you are. Do you feel like people have a choice on what they do and where they go? Absolutely. What choice are y'all making? It's a choice every day. I get to choose every single day what I do with my day. I choose to be here. Where do you choose to be? Who do you choose to be with? That it makes sense. Who do you choose to be with? Right? How are you taking your experiences and applying those to your business? I tell you, if you've met with me, you talk about what's your lane. What lane are you in? No more than 2. If you have 3, you better be racking up $1 million a year in lane #1. It's just too many. Don't throw spaghetti. How are you pouring that knowledge into others? And how, if you already have that knowledge, how are you building yourself? The question. Who has an answer? There's no wrong answer.
I just feel like if we learn from our mistakes, don't keep doing the same thing over and over if it didn't work for you the first 5 times. So, learn from your mistakes and move on.
Yep.
And laugh at yourself.
If you don't ever visit your regrets, you will never learn from them. I write mine down. I started a regret journal of all the things in my 52 years of things I wish I'd done differently. Now, do I want anybody to read it? Hell to the no. However, I own them. I couldn't do that 20 years ago because I was too proud. I was too ashamed. But I own them today. And if you ask me, I'll tell you. But I think if we don't talk about our regrets and what we've learned from those and revisit them, that also will hold you back from being confident. Because no matter what they are, you can overcome anything. I mean, everybody in this room has a story, right? Or know somebody that has a story. You can overcome anything. It's just all between here and what's in your heart. What are you guys thinking? Share with me. Don't be shy, safe room.
I think we need to also remember, I don't know if this is along anything, but it just made me think of the regret thing, is be sure we give ourselves grace too.
All day.
And revisit the wins.
Yeah.
I asked for grace before I even came up here when I started. I'm like, I need grace today. Like I'm a
Forgiving
little.
ourselves
hot
for
mess.
those regrets, that's big too.
Mhm.
Even if we ask for forgiveness, whether it be from the person or God or whatever, we have to forgive ourselves too,
Mhm. Mhm.
not beat ourselves up.
100%. So when you think about who you spend your time with, let's talk about social media for a second. Because that's all the thing, right? Whereas like the world evolves around social media. Who do you follow on social media? Have you ever curated who you are in a relationship with on social media? If you have, I would love to hear it. I bet if you went and looked at everybody that you follow, everybody that you're friends with, probably a percentage of them are not in your best interest. I mean, I want a Lamborghini, can't afford one, don't want the maintenance. Why am I looking at them? Because they're cool? Are they really that cool? Our largest commodity that we have as a human being is our attention and time. When you spend mindless time on things that don't matter, why do we do that? Doesn't serve us. Doesn't do anything for us, not building us up. Kind of makes me feel like insignificant, like I'm not doing something right. I'm not making enough money. I'm not living in the right house. I'm not married to the right person. My kids are ding dongs. You know, all the things, because, you know, in those world, it's the perfect life and the perfect car and the perfect this and the perfect kids and, you know, all the things. Why do we do that to ourselves? So your homework item is, if you so take the challenge, is spend some time on your social media. What are you filling yourself with every day when you are giving up your time, which is valuable? Do you know what your value is? You should. To people that don't value you. They're not going to serve you. They're not going to support you. They don't know who you are. They're not going to send you business. Why are they your friend? Are they your friend? No. Are they cool? Maybe. But just to give up your time that you're never going to get back, could you probably do something else with that? Yes. Say yes.
Yep.
Yes. You can do
Yes.
something better with that. Yes, you can. Same thing with, I won't say your friend circle, but who your partners are in business. Are they your partners because they give you a good deal? Are they your partners because they pick up the phone when you call? Are they your partners because you owe them a favor? Understand why people are your partners. Those that are in the room that know me well, it matters who our partners are with. It matters to this office, it matters to the people. I too used to be a partner. And it is not easy. Just like your job, it is showing up, doing the right thing, making challenging calls. It takes one bad partner to really set you off the rails. Your reputation, your brand, how people see you, because guess where it goes? Social media.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you, social media and Google.
Yep.
So pay attention. And I think we are very fortunate here. I know there are agents that it took one bad deal that the vendor shared and tagged the agent about how horrible they were to work with. It just takes one. It just takes one. If you make a mistake, own it. Be accountable. Fall on the sword if you have to. Make it right. If you need help, ask. It matters who you surround yourself with in business and personally. Who has a best friend? Everybody's got a best friend. Everybody's got, Nasser,
Yes.
raise your hand. You got a best friend. You got a best friend. Does your best friend know everything
Yeah.
Do they
No.
know everything?
about you?
No.
No. Who knows everything?
And Jesus.
In Jesus. Oh, yeah. Praise the Lord. Do you really know everything? No. So why don't we always continue to learn about who we are and what we're doing and how to be better? And what are you doing to do that? Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's doing meditation. I mean, there are a gazillion things you could talk about as far as how to better yourself. But none of us know everything about ourselves. We think we do, but there's so much more potential in our minds that I think us as humans, we just get comfortable, like Julie said, in what we do every day, that we just don't push ourselves. Why? This room, our family, people that we know, we have so much greatness in us. And the willingness to try to get there, that's all you gotta do. You just gotta try. You might fail, but I bet you learned something when you failed. We all learn something. At least I did. I mean, I learned, don't do that shit again. Because that wasn't fun. Do it differently next time. Why are we afraid to fail?
It sucks.
Right? Say it, Ally, because it sucks. Failing does not feel good.
What people might think about you, interpretation,
Why do we care?
I don't, but you know, some people.
As humans, right? We care what other people think.
Mhm.
But why?
Yeah, that's true.
It feels
everybody does.
good to be loved and liked, and it doesn't feel good to not be. So it's a
Because
good-
you're afraid to fail and pretend to be perfect?
Mhm.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Y'all, keep it real. Be real, be authentic, be your authentic self. If the people that are your friends that don't like the authentic version of you, they are not your friends. They don't need to be your business partners. They don't need to be your clients. They just don't. And I know that's way easier said than done because we all want to feel needed, like Chelsea said, and feel loved. But people loving you and you loving people for unauthentic reasons is a waste of your time. You could use it so much more wisely. Tracy's like raising his hand. I was like, thought you were gonna ask a question.
Tracy getting cramped up.
Don't be crying back there. Yeah, don't be crying back there. Trying not to get to the emotional part because I'm like trying to keep it together. So some tactics for y'all. Number one, you can tell what number one is.
Self-reflection,
Take action.
take action. Yes.
Number one, take action. That's it. Super simple. Just take action. Take action on something. Whether it's self-improvement, whether it's activities, take action. You cannot be successful without trying. And confidence is the willingness to try. That's it. Power of objectivity. Do you see yourself in the future? What does your future self look like? And he's like, oh.
It's hard. It's hard to imagine. you
Well,
know.
somebody asked me last week, they said, where do you see yourself next? And I was like, next?
Yeah.
Like, whoa. I don't know that I have a next. We all have a next, right? I'm not in this space forever. At some point, I want to retire. I will leave kicking and screaming, but I hope to have grandkids one day. And I, like, there is a next. What is next for you? Do you know what it is? If you don't, think about it. How can you see your future self being successful if you don't even know what's next? Write it down. Think about it. Is it part of your business plan? Is it part of any plan that you share with somebody? Had a meeting this week talking about partners, significant others, whoever you share space with. Do they know what your dreams are? Most people don't share them because they're embarrassed, or they feel like it's unattainable, or they feel like somebody's gonna make fun of them. Why? Why would you not want to be around people that have dreams bigger than they can ever imagine? Because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to share things that don't seem realistic. Why? Why are humans so complicated? Seriously.
I think because we are often in survivor mode.
Yeah, the fight or flight.
Yeah, like if I'm having a conversation with my best friend, it's like, this happened with my daughter this week, my husband is feeling discouraged, right? You're just like week to week, just trying to make it through. So envisioning a big dream can feel really overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to failing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're afraid, you don't want to put it out there and then not accomplish it.
Do you think there's any successful human that got it perfect the first time? Then why are we so afraid to fail? Seriously, why are we so afraid to fail? Y'all, you gotta fail forward. I don't know how to say it any other way. You have got to fail forward. It can be a small failure, a big failure, but you gotta start with something once. If you don't ever start with something once, you're never gonna grow. And with doing it, the once and twice and the third time, Chelsea.
I think it's really important that we celebrate the failures as well. There's a
Absolutely.
really good Disney movie, Meet the Robinsons. I don't know
Oh,
if y'all
yeah.
ever
Oh,
watched
love
that.
it.
It's such a, like, he's a scientist and he invents all these things, but every time he fails, like, he has like a party, like a full-on party. Like, man, that's such a good life
Yeah.
lesson. So if you're bored, it's a really good movie to watch, but it's.
Because if you're not failing, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Period.
Like,
Failure is good. Imposter syndrome is a positive. Like people, everything has gotten the stigma of all these bad things that we can't fail or people are gonna judge us. Who cares? Like, who cares? Only you care. Stop caring about other people, what other people think. It doesn't matter. It is only gonna stifle your success and in what you do every single day when you get up. I think that's just super important. Number 3, prepare. If you do not prepare, you will fail. Just saying. Did you prepare to take your test when you got your real estate license? Yep. Did you prepare when you took your, Lisa's like, oh. Did you prepare when you took your driver's test?
Yeah.
Yes. How does it feel when you prepare and you ace something versus going in unprepared and you know you're gonna fail? That's right. You feel good if you're prepared. So why don't we prepare for everything? Why don't we wing it? Hope for the best. Any thoughts? Lazy. You get comfortable.
You wanna be entertained.
Be entertained.
Like with this cat video.
Oh, look at those cute dogs. Oh, I'll read that book in a little while.
You're like, oh my gosh, it's 3 hours later.
And everybody's done it. You don't even have to raise your hand. If you, yeah, 'cause if you don't, you're lying. But yeah, but why do we do that? I mean, and so as you can tell today, it's all about self-reflection. It is all about you. It is about all these things apply to your business. All these things apply to you personally. How are you selfishly taking care of yourself, loving yourself, failing forward, going from learning, being competent, because that's where your confidence comes from. We've got a lot of new agents in this room. We have a lot of tough agents in this room. They've been doing this a long time. Probably a lot of this you guys have already heard. But the message is always the same. You guys are gonna always hear the same. Thoughts?
Never hurts to hear it again.
Never hurts to hear it again.
No man stands in the same river twice.
That's right, that's
Say it
right.
again, what did you say? Never.
No man stands in the same river twice. Thea.
I think part of our action is being in a room like this, because sometimes we need to borrow somebody else's strength
Right.
that may see us in the eyes that we can't see ourselves in yet. So when you guys take the step to be in a room like this, that it's all about lifting each other up. I think borrowing the strength of others is a wonderful way to be able to take those next steps when you might be feeling like you're not there yet.
Yep. Yeah, because I assure you, this morning, I could have stayed in bed. This room is the reason why I show up, because of the strength in this room. And I want you to look around this room, and everybody in this room would do that for each other, because that's who we are. That's the home that we have created here. That's what's super important to me. Do what?
I was like, not you.
Yeah. Like, no, you don't count.
I was joking.
Yeah, and the last part of that, we're talking about, tactics is focus on you, which I kind of already talked about, but I just want to go back and reiterate. What are you doing for yourself? I'm going to use Chelsea as an example because it just happened yesterday. where her house had closed on Friday. Finally got funded midday yesterday. And you went to get the afternoon, went, got your nails done, went to the hair spa, head spa, whatever that thing is.
I went to the head spa, I walked right in.
Yeah, you
They were
did.
like, you didn't have an appointment. I said, no, I must have looked real bad.
And what did they say?
Took me. They said, "Next time." I had it 30 minutes while I was there, I just need you to keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
That's great.
Mhm. Yeah, but I think, yeah, how you prepare and how you focus on yourself. Who's got a vacation plan this year? Raise your hand high. Who's got a vacation already planned? Who does not have a vacation on the calendar?
I have
Y'all.
the books and I like, it's not booked. Got
It's in
the
the
dates,
books.
I just haven't like. Mhm.
If it is not on the calendar, it does not count. Vacation is your number one. When you are planning every single year, that is your number one thing you plan. That's your time. How are you living your year not focusing on you? When are you gonna give yourself a break?
That's when I get the most work.
That's
Every
right.
time I go out of town, something happens.
Fun fact, and in fact, if you all plan a vacation, the business will fall out of the trees, because it happens every single time.
It does.
Literally.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
Some good, some bad.
But yeah, but for those of you in the room that don't have a vacation planned, you're not focused on yourself. What are you focused on? Just the monotony of the Monday through Friday. Oh, I guess I'll go do this today. I'll make some calls tomorrow. Where are you going? What's your path? Do you know it?
Yes.
If you were writing every word, you were the fastest writer I've ever seen. Because you were like pencil to paper man. Love it, because I talk fast. So what are you gonna do when you leave here today?
Take action.
Thank you. What we're gonna do when we leave here today? Take action. On what? Anything. Anything. Take action on something. It can be one thing. Find your one thing. Who's read the one thing? Hello, y'all. Take action on one thing. Prepare. For you new agents in the room, prepare. That is script practice, role play, have conversations, have an accountability person. Do the things that are awkward and uncomfortable, and you're gonna feel like an idiot doing these with people, because you do, right? You're like, I'm like, ring, ring, hello. Hi, this is Melissa with Keller Williams Really Atlanta Partners. Right, like that, like for people, they're like, oh my God, that feels so weird. Why? It's your job. Talk to people. Have fun with it. You're gonna get, oh my gosh, this is great, or oh my gosh, you're terrible, don't call me again. So what? They have zero value to your life. You keep going until you find the yeses, right? When you keep going, the willingness to try, build your confidence, that builds your confidence. When you start winning because you've done the thing over and over and over again, that feels good, right? Who has one thing they would like to share that they do systematically to make sure you stay on track? Nope.
Well, I
Landon.
was just gonna say, there's nothing that builds more confidence than being prepared.
Amen.
I
Yeah.
would say being prepared for anything, you can walk into any room confident because you can sit there and hold a conversation and stand there and talk to anybody.
That's right.
And that's what I find the most.
And if you're unsure what to say, ask good questions. If you can ask good questions, that's all you need.
People notice people asking questions.
Ask great questions and listen. Stop talking so much. And that's like how about talking to the wall? I mean, for me, that's really hard. And over time, I have learned to ask really great questions because I actually want to know you. I want to know your story. At some point, we might have a transaction together. That's the goal, right? In building this relationship. But do you have a relationship with other people that you do business with? I do. For example, my dry cleaners. She knows my first and last name. She knows her phone number by heart. When I pull up every week, she knows like who I am, and I love that.
She must be Korean.
She must be Korean.
Yes.
She's Vietnamese. And smart. But I like that. But for her, I show up every single week. It's time, right? So in time, she has mastered who I am. That's her job. it makes my experience going there, I always want to go back. Now, do I think she's overpriced? Absolutely. But it's a mile down the street. And I know that when I pull up, I don't have to say, hey, my name is Dara, my last four digits are 7472, and she has to go through and do all the things. She sees me go around the corner, and by the time I get to the window, she has all my stuff hanging there. That is something as simple as going to the dry cleaners. What if everything you did had that experience with people? That's right. You're talking about the Ritz-Carlton, you know, the standards with that. Have you guys ever Googled their standards? Are those standards in your standards for your business? Something to think about. So it's all about the experience and how you make people feel. All the other stuff, being prepared, having knowledge, prepared brings confidence. With confidence brings confidence. That's where you give people the experience.
I was gonna say earlier, you were talking about strategy, and I think when you take somebody's advice and you apply it, like I had advice to read, The Compound Effect. Excellent. I
Great book.
listen to it for at least 20 minutes a day, and it helps me start on track to stay focused. And just remembering that, hey, you don't have to do it all at once. You can do incremental changes and changing your behaviors and getting toward your goals. And yes, I'm overwhelmed, I'm new. So I'm like, okay, we need to rein it in, have a strategy so I can have those small wins every day. So that I don't feel that, okay, we have goals, they're big goals, but we can do these little things each day to get slowly toward them. So I'd say like, when you listen to people's advice, try to apply them, and don't just be like, yeah, cool, like write it down and try it out and see if it helps you. So,
And remember, they started at 0.
right.
They too had to do the things, right? Nobody started at 100. You gotta start at 0. We all do.
I had a coach once, and she encouraged us to just do 1% better every day, just 1%.
Mhm.
And then by the end of the year, you're 365% better than you were.
So when you break it down, like, why didn't we think about
How would that change your business?
Pressure.
How would that change your life? Not just your business. How would that change your life? 1% better with a partner, 1% better with your kids, 1% better with your finances. Making good decisions. Do I really need that or do I want that? How does it serve you? How does it serve others? Like if you just, we just get so in the rush of doing things all day, every day that we just don't think about it. I will tell you that now that I'm in my 50s, I look back and I'm like, I'm halfway through my life. And no matter where you are today, like that's scary. Like, oh, I want to be 25 again. Do I? I don't know. I love where I am today. And at 52, do I have regrets? Absolutely. Do I revisit them? Absolutely. Because you bet your butt I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to be real intentional with what I do with my next 50 years, God willing. So be intentional. It matters, and what you do with it. Okay. All right. That's all I got, kids.
Thank you, Dara.
Absolutely.